This afternoon from Los Angeles, the Red Sox face the Dodgers in the 10th game of this road trip. Last night that saw the Sox beat LA 9-0. Today at Dodger Stadium, they go for a third consecutive win on the trip. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to beautiful Los Angeles. Dave O'Brien alongside my partner, Steve Lyons. Garen Austin joining us in just a moment. The Red Sox have a sense of urgency today, Steve, because they're 5-4 on the trip. They can nail down a winning road trip with a victory against the Dodgers today, and that's why David Ortiz is in the lineup at first base.
Yeah, I think John Farrell got really nervous when Hanley Ramirez got hurt the other day, but he healed up quickly. He's back in the lineup, obviously, for the Red Sox. And Big Papi said, you know what, I will go out there and play first base. He can play first base pretty well when he gets a chance to go out there. He can still move around. He can catch the ball. He's done it most of his life. What he does need to do is swing the bat a little bit. It's been a rough trip for him so far.
Yeah, he's been a little chilly. So is Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley, and a few other guys. But the Red Sox have been getting pitching. They got it last night. Stephen Wright went all the way, a complete game shutout. That's the first of his career as far as the shutout goes. And today gives the baseball to Eduardo Rodriguez. First time he's ever faced the Dodgers. Game 2 of the series coming up from Dodger Stadium. Is brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. The 2017 Kia Sportage. Visit anykiadealers.com to learn more. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Subaru Retailers of New England. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Gorgeous day here in Los Angeles, a bit on the warm side, but we're ready for game 2 between the Sox and the Dodgers. Red Sox will rest on Monday. That will end a string of 20 games in 20 days. Time to look at the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Mookie Betts leads it off. He has led off a game 6 times with a home run. Brock Holtz at second. Dustin Pedroia fouled one off viciously off a shin last night. Xander Bogaerts in short. David Ortiz, the first baseman. Jackie Bradley in center field. Sandy Leon back there catching. Travis Shaw at first. Andrew Benintendi is in left field. And Eduardo Rodriguez is the pitcher, batting out of the 9 spot. The Dodgers starter is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. He is the right-handed rookie, Ross Stripling, 2-3, a 4.14 ERA, 26-year-old out of Blue Bell, Pennsylvania, forced into duty because of a lot of pitching injuries.
They have had their problems. Let's go to the Dodger defense now, brought to you by DraftKings. Turner, Seager, Hendrick, and Gonzalez around the infield. Van Slyke makes a start in left field. Kike Hernandez out there in center. Josh Reddick makes a start in right field, and there's your battery. A.J. Ellis makes a start behind the plate, catching Stripling.
The umpires today brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Chad Whitson, a youngster behind the plate, is a rookie umpire. Gary Cederstrom at first base, Eric Cooper at second, Jim Wolf is the man at third base. And we're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP is presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota certified used vehicle right now. Here's the forecast. Typical Los Angeles, 77 degrees and sunny. The sun could be a factor today, particularly for the outfielders.
Yeah, sometimes it's not like playing a day game at Fenway with that bad sun, but the sun does shine here in LA quite a bit. Better have your sunglasses on.
Mookie Betts to lead things off. 309, 23 homers, 73 runs batted in. Coming off a big night last night, in which he went 3 for 5 with a home run and drove in a pair. And the Red Sox running right past the Dodgers 9-0. It was one of those combination games where the Red Sox got pitching and hitting. They haven't had enough of those in recent weeks, but it all came together last night.
They had a whole lot of both. Dodgers shifting for Mookie Betts. Not sure I quite understand that. He can go the other way with the best of them.
And the first pitch of the day is up and away for ball one. Brock Holt will follow. Red Sox 5-4 on the trip that ends tomorrow. They've actually gained a half a game in the standings in the AL East since it began. Up the middle, kicked and misdirected into the outfield off Stripling. Mookie takes a big turn. He'll be content with a single to get started, which he has been doing a lot lately. Got him on the foot.
Well, a little kick save helped out. They had the shift on, obviously. Kendrick was playing way up the middle. It got him right off. Looked like the toe. Doesn't seem to be too worried about it. I think Howie Kendrick playing right up the middle would have had that ball, but it kicks into the outfield for another base hit for Mookie.
So that's an 8-game hitting streak for Mookie Betts. Brock Holt is playing second base today, as Dustin Pedroia has the day off after ripping that foul off his shin, his left shin last night. Red Sox did take x-rays. They were negative.
That's good. They say hopefully, I know Petey said he wanted to play today. They gave him this day off. He'll probably be right back out there tomorrow.
In there for a called strike on Holt. 257 with 5 home runs. Back to last night in that foul ball.
Oh, just a bad spot. Right off the upper part of that angle. That hurts.
He's just been so healthy all season long. Into center field, dropping quickly. It falls for a base hit. Betts to second and stopping right there. And the first 2 Red Sox have singled today against the rookie right-hander.
Shortstop number 2, Xander Bogaerts.
Brock Holt doing what he does best, just letting the ball travel. That's a pretty good pitch to hit right there. Fastball right down Broadway. He just wants to pull his hands in quickly. Inside out that ball. Goes right up the middle for another base hit. And the Red Sox are moving.
That sends up Xander Bogaerts at 320 with 14 homers, 67 RBIs. Skidding a bit, though. He was 1 for 5 last night. He's been chilly on the road trip, hitting 205. And will take a strike. David Ortiz hitting 148 on the trip. Hanley Ramirez 231. Dustin Pedroia 222. So a lot of guys are due, including Xander. Stripling with a curveball, a slider, a changeup, and a fastball in the low 90s. He has been called up from AAA Oklahoma City to start today. That's popped up into foul territory. Gonzalez ranging over into the umpire. We talked about this a little bit late last night, the difference in Dodger Stadium over the last several years, how they've put all that seating in down the lines and have taken a lot of the foul ground that used to be here away.
You can almost see the difference in the ballpark where that back retaining wall is. Now, there were seats in front of that, but they redesigned the entire ballpark down there to add more seats, more revenue. Those aren't cheap seats down there.
The 0-2 to Bogaerts with 2 aboard.
It also came in with the reconfiguration of both locker rooms, which are completely redone. They pushed everything out. They dug down and under the stadium to build those locker rooms. It was a really a ridiculous process, and it came out beautifully.
And Stripling will step off. Right-hander Bud Norris is headed to the disabled list with a back strain. So Stripling gets a chance to come up from the minor leagues. Clayton Kershaw, their ace, already on the DL with a herniated disc. So the Dodgers have some trouble. That'll be down low for a ball.
Yeah, David, kind of reminds me with the reconstruction here. Baseball players used to say that one of the worst visiting clubhouses in all of baseball was here in LA right after Fenway Park, because that has always been traditionally the worst visiting clubhouse.
Well, in the case of Fenway, you get a 100-year-old ballpark. It's very cramped, very small. It's tiny. How about this place?
Same kind of a thing. They didn't really think they had room to move, and that's why they dug under.
But it's a gigantic ballpark. 2-2, dribble foul, 56,000.
But all the stands right up to the ballpark are built on the side of a hill, sort of. When you come into the ballpark, you're at the 7th level, and everything goes down from there. It is the 3rd oldest ballpark in all of baseball now.
Well, it's been aging well. Opened in 1962. Bogart's trying to cash in on Stripling here. Nobody out, 2 on. And he floats that one toward right field down the line. Reddick with a long run, and not going to get there, but a foul ball. Josh Reddick just acquired from the Oakland A's, along with Rich Hill. It's been a rough start to the Dodger careers of both of those guys. Reddick doesn't have a hit since the trade at the trade deadline. And Rich Hill was supposed to start tomorrow, but his blister has flared up again. The native of Massachusetts will not make that start.
Well, that could be a thing that could hamper him for a long time. Those things are tough to heal.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Xander. David Ortiz on deck. Betts at second. Holt at first. Good speed out there. Waved at and missed, and down he goes. Strike 3. So Xander's issues on this trip continue.
Well, for me, Xander's just got a little too pull happy. He wants to hit everything to the left side, and when he's going great, we know he goes the other way, and he'll take that pitch and hit it hard the other way, not try to pull it and be out in front of it and not be able to reach it at all.
So Xander now 8 for 40 on the trip, and here comes David Ortiz and getting a big ovation. I think there are more Red Sox fans than Dodger fans here today.
Well, we've seen them travel so well. There will be more people in this ballpark. It's still a late arriving crowd, but tons of Red Sox fans.
David getting his first start at first base since last August when the Red Sox were at Citi Field in New York to face the Mets. That's a change in the plan. John Farrell said in spring training the Red Sox would not play Ortiz at first base to preserve his legs and the Achilles. The Red Sox have a chance to have a winning road trip. Winning today will do that. So he's in there and takes a fastball in there for a strike. Had several conversations about that, and David said, yep, I'll go. Since 2003, the Red Sox are 47-23 at National League ballparks when Ortiz plays at first base. 47-23.
You run him out there.
When he doesn't play, by the way, the Red Sox are 26-29.
Yeah. Well, the Red Sox since '03 now, which is a long period of time, have the best interleague record in all of baseball. Not a better team.
Ortiz has skidded on this road swing, however, down to 311, 25 home runs. Hits that one sharply toward the shift. Kendrick with a dive from a knee, throws on to get him at first base as the runners advance to second and third. Howie Kendrick, who has moved from the outfield over to second base today, he steals a hit.
Such a great luxury to have Kendrick, who's been playing a brilliant left field, but traditionally a second baseman. He's way over in the shift, of course, and robs David Ortiz right there of a hit. But you get Chase Utley, the old man on this team. You give him the day off because of a day game, and you just move Kendrick over to second, and you're not losing a beat. Outstanding play.
Sends up Jackie Bradley now, 2 men in scoring position. The Red Sox threatening to squander here. Jackie at 292, 17 homers. He's driven in 62. He'll take ball one. He only has 1 RBI on this road trip. He's gotten a lot of chances. He's 6 for 33 on the trip. Mookie Betts at third base. Brock Holt at second base. No score in the first. Soft one outside and low at 84.
It's a good take by Bradley right there. That's typical of right-handed pitchers to left-handed hitters. In a fastball count, they like to throw a changeup, and Bradley didn't bite.
So to count 2-0, and here comes. And he looks at another ball just downstairs on the changeup.
Tried it back-to-back, which is a great pitching idea, but Bradley's just a little smarter in this at-bat than Stripling is. A lot of guys would be swinging at those pitches.
So it goes to 3-0, and here it comes again, and a fastball in there for a strike at 91. The manager Dave Roberts knows the new guy he's rolling out there today, Stripling, will be challenged. He said of the Red Sox, they have a lot of good hitters on that team. I can say we probably caught a break with David Ortiz on the bench on Friday night in a National League ballpark. And that's going to be ball 4. That just missed. Well, everywhere around the strike zone, but he walks him, and the bases are all loaded up for Sandy Leon.
That was a 9-0 break he caught.
Follow Red Sox baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet today. So all filled up. Sandy can do some damage right away coming off a big night. He crushed a 2-run homer, had an RBI single, and drove in another run with a sacrifice fly last night. He drove in 4 runs to tie his career high. And he fouls it away, very aggressively swinging on the fastball.
Sandy Leon moves into that number 6 slot today. Not only because he's been playing very good baseball, but also because he's the switch hitter in the middle of a lineup full of left-handed hitters today. John Farrell wants to make sure that when this game gets late, you can't just bring in a lefty to face everybody right in a row. Sandy shifts over to the right side when that happens.
Stripling will step off the rubber. Here's the home run swing last night, and he really spanked it.
This is a hard pitch to keep fair, but he got that bat head out and cleared the hip so quickly. He was able to just drop that bat head down and golf it out of here.
The 0-1. High fly ball to right field, but he got underneath this one, pushing it into foul territory. And now Leon in the hole, 0-2.
And a nice catch made by one of the fans down there. Bring your glove, you never know. Look.
Well, Vince Scully does a little introduction up on the big board before the games, and during that one today, he announced that David Ortiz would be in the lineup. There's a huge ovation that went up, as if Ortiz were playing for the Dodgers.
Well, that woman right there had a Red Sox hat on, and she made the play.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Sandy.
Lots of Sox fans here. I know you were so excited before today's ball game because you got a chance to sit down and talk with Finn today.
I had a great chat. We'll show you pieces of that throughout the rest of the weekend. Man at every base here. And Leon swinging a hot bat. Here comes the 1-2. That'll drift inside and even up the count. And Stripling's having a very long top of the first inning, particularly for a guy who has not surrendered a run yet.
Yeah. Red Sox hitters are really doing an excellent job, though, of recognizing pitch selection here out of Stripling. They're staying off of the breaking ball. They're staying off of that changeup. Get yourself to a hitter's count.
Betts, Holt, and Bradley getting their leads all the way around. And that's ball 3. He's trying to entice him to chase that breaking ball or changeup underneath the strike zone.
Bogey chased it a little bit, but the last 2 hitters we saw here, Bradley and Leon, doing an excellent job. Got to throw one over the plate now.
The string is out, 3-2 with 2 down, bases loaded. Here comes his 25th pitch in the top of the first. Runners go. And a little trickler, and the pitcher will handle this one. Stripling with the underhand toss. And the Red Sox fail to score. Bogaerts was the key man in that inning with that strikeout. Stripling gets out of it. Here's the Dodger lineup now, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Howie Kendrick will lead things off. Corey Seager is shortstop. Justin Turner, they really like him. 19 home runs at third base. Adrian Gonzalez, Kike Hernandez, followed by Josh Reddick. Scott Van Slyke is at left. A.J. Ellis doing the catching. And Stripling is the pitcher and the number 9 hitter against the Red Sox starting pitcher, presented by New England Audi dealers. Eduardo Rodriguez, 2-4, a .591 earned run average, facing the Dodgers for the first time in his career. And Kendrick will take ball 1. And David Ortiz taking up his defensive position for the first time this year. Tuno. Kendrick hitting .266, 6 homers, 26 driven in. Has made a fine defensive play to rob Ortiz of a base hit. But a guy they can move around and put on wheels a little bit from the outfield to the infield.
Excellent guy to have in your lineup with that versatility.
He slices a foul out of play. Last night he was 0 for 3. Once again, the Red Sox scoring 9 runs in a game, and Stephen Wright did the rest. And perhaps his finest hour with the Red Sox. He went all the way, socked down the right field line, but foul. And he was a man in total command. At one point he retired 15 in a row.
Started right there in the second inning when he settled down and struck out the side. You knew it was going to be smooth sailing after that.
And very meaningful for Stephen because he's from this area. A shot and caught. A little bit of a bobble there, but Ortiz challenged right away. Wouldn't you know it? And he hauls it in.
As soon as the ball was hit, David's instinct said go to first base. Then he realized, wait a minute, I might have to catch this ball.
So he does to Kendrick what Kendrick just did to him.
Kendrick, or Poppy, was leaning towards first, then reacted and came back and caught that line drive. Like he's done it before.
Here's Seager checking his swing. They appeal, but no swing, says Jim Wolf. One thing I've noticed with David, he rarely plays first base with a smile. There's not a lot of joking over there. Maybe when he's holding a runner at first who happens to be a friend. That one comes off the end of the bat right to Shaw. A little cue shot. And in time to get him. 2 up and 2 down. He takes it very seriously.
Let's check into the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest Airlines now. Who's out there today? Shaw at third, Bogarts at short, Brock Holt making the start at second base, Ortiz at first, so a completely new right side of the infield. Benintendi in left, Bradley Jr. and Betts in right. And the pitching and catching, Sandy Leon doing the catching. Erod on the mound today.
And facing the number 3 hitter, Justin Turner, 275, good power, 19 home runs. And a particular favorite of manager Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts was comparing Turner and his playing style, his all-out style, to a lot of the young Red Sox players that he really admires, like Mookie, Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley.
Well, this is an accidental find for the Dodgers here. When they signed him, they thought he was going to back up, be a utility player. He was forced into action because of injuries a couple of seasons ago, and the next thing you know, he's a star player, all because of a little change in his batting stance.
Well, he went for the downs on that one, the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Dropped his hands down around his waist. He said, I wanted to force my hands into a bad hitting position to begin with so that I had to get them into a better one, and it gave me a little cocking action, a little momentum into his swing, and he's been a completely different player.
Rodriguez trying to put him away, but can't with the high fastball at 94. Adrian Gonzalez on deck. He's kind of had a power outage this season with only 9 home runs and 51 runs batted in.
He is getting older.
Aren't we all?
Day by day.
2-2. Pop foul back out of play.
You know, Dave, you were talking about Poppy and how serious he is over there about playing first base, and you're absolutely right about that. You said the only time he really has a good time is if he's, you know, enjoying one of his friends, but everyone on the opposing team is one of his friends, so he's going to talk to everyone.
Yeah. Another nice catch.
They're coming to play today up there in the seats.
Good fielding crowd.
Nice. Barehanded, didn't lose his drink.
That's just showing off.
It's not that easy.
Into the dirt on Turner. Dodgers come in with a record of 60-49, and like the Red Sox, they're 2 back in their division. They trail San Francisco in the NL West. They've had a tough time against the American League, 6-9. Fouled away. Just to confirm that, near the NL West standings, Rockies 8 back.
Well, I think it's understandable why they'd have a tough time, unless I'm completely off base here. I'd say the American League East is a way better division than the National League West. They are going to have their trouble playing against our division.
3-2 on the way. He got him. He strikes him out 95 with elevated heat, and was scoreless after 1. By T-Mobile, looking at the recent struggles for the Dodgers starters. A lot of that is injury related, but over the last 4 games, an 8.50 ERA, lots of hits, lots of walks, and 7 home runs allowed. And the Red Sox did him no favors last night, piling up 9 runs. Scott Kazmir last night, a short outing. Red Sox knocked him about. He did walk 4 men. That bunt is pushed along the third base line, but fouled by Travis Shaw, trying to bunt his way on, but a foul ball for a strike. Travis 1 for 3 with a home run that was out of here in about 2.5 seconds last night down the right field line.
He and Mookie both blasted balls down the lines. Kind of like that little try right there by Travis Shaw. You go to the line. If you miss it, you still have your at bat to work with. If you're successful, it's a good base hit bunt to start the inning.
Cut on and missed. Last night, a laser beam down into the corner.
Well, he creates some serious leverage when he gets that front foot down and lets it rip.
0-2 is high. Talked about his dad, of course, his pop Jeff, who pitched for 5 teams over 12 major league seasons, including 1998 to 2001 with the Dodgers. And so that was a very, very special moment for him as he goes down on strikes to be able to homer at Dodger Stadium, where he used to knock around here as a little boy when his dad was here.
Homer at a place where he would hope that his dad never gave up any homers. It's that great shot we showed you yesterday.
Little Travis.
Not little anymore.
By the way, he got the ball back, and it found its way into his locker. That home run at Dodger Stadium meant a lot to him. Here's Benintendi getting his 2nd major league start. First one went pretty darn well with 2 hits. His first major league hits, 2 for 6 at the big league level. Chopped up the middle.
Not going to get him.
Seager throws him. Yeah, he got him. Seager with a good rangy play to cut him down.
We talked about Seager playing short, how long a guy that big can play short, but he was playing way up the middle on a good arm. Benintendi can run down the line. I didn't think they had a shot to get him at all. It's just a nice play by a guy at 6'4", 220.
Here's Eduardo Rodriguez, who in batting practice at Fenway before this trip started, as he was getting ready to swing in a National League park, looked like a guy who could swing the shillelagh. This is a different matter, though, against major league pitching at Dodger Stadium. So we'll see how this goes for the young left-hander in there for a called strike.
Even I was a good 5 o'clock hitter.
A lot of bad decisions are made by general managers at 5 o'clock around the batting cage. That's across for strike 3. And the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 2nd after leaving them loaded in the 1st. No score in L.A. Timeless moment on this date in 1999. Carl Yastrzemski's iconic number 8 was retired by the Red Sox. He joined Ted Williams, Joe Cronin, and Bobby Doerr as the club's only retired numbers at that time. I still have jerseys at home with number 8 on them.
You see a ton of them at the ballpark at Fenway all the time.
Yeah, but I'm an old man. And that probably shouldn't be the case, but I'm hanging on to those forever.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, here's Adrian Gonzalez to lead things off, scoreless in the second inning. 282, just 9 home runs with 51 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night. And Rodriguez delivers lefty to lefty. We were talking about Adrian last night and the time he spent in a Red Sox uniform, which was 159 games in 2011, 123 the next year when the Red Sox pulled off the fire sale and dealt him to the Dodgers. That first year with the Red Sox, I mean, I don't think he was all that happy playing in the American League. I don't think he was in love with the idea of playing in Boston for whatever reason, but he hit .338 that year with 27 homers, 117 RBIs. He scored over 100 runs. He had 213 hits that season.
Yeah, I know. That's why when you talk to people about, oh, it was terrible when he came here, it was a big disaster, it was awesome that they dumped all those guys on the Dodgers. Well, hey, point to that season right there and say, wait a minute, he threw up some pretty good numbers for a little bit before things really went south for those guys.
He only made 4 errors too.
He is a fantastic first baseman. We saw that yesterday. Started 2 double play balls like they were nothing. Made another really nice play and flipped to the pitcher on a very difficult play.
But you know, I thought his power would be more significant, and I thought he would be a leader, one of those guys that led the Red Sox, you know, back to postseason play. It went south, down and away for a ball, and he wasn't real happy in that time and place. He's come back and had some really nice years with the Dodgers. 2 years ago, he drove in 116. Last year, he hit 28 home runs. Southern California really appeals to him. Goes the other way for a base hit into left field. That'll be the first knock of the day for the Dodgers as Gonzalez is on.
Well, Dave, when he came here, and they really made him the face of the organization, considering when you look at the fan base here, the Hispanic population that really supports the Dodgers, it was a great fit for him.
Well, he's on quickly here in the second inning. Kike Hernandez next, the center fielder, hitting just 191 with 5 home runs. It's not a Dodger team that scores a lot of runs, and 9th in the National League in runs scored. They really rely on pitching, and their pitching is beaten up right now. In for strike 1.
Hernandez is your classic utility guy for this ball club. Got his hair all cut off. Used to have some really long hair. Now he's short again. He's really a spark plug, kind of the class clown on this team. Keeps everybody loose.
Josh Reddick on deck, newly acquired from the Oakland A's, and in the National League now, former Red Sox. Rodriguez has been pitching much better lately. His last 4 starts, a .263 earned run average. And that one ripped into left field. That's going to settle down for a base hit. Benintendi there to cut it. Back-to-back singles here in the second inning for the Dodgers.
On check location of this pitch, Erod had been doing a pretty good job of running fastballs up in the strike zone to get his outs. That one didn't quite get up there. Now that he's found that slider and it's working for him, he understands that the fastball can even be more effective because you have hitters looking for different pitches. Early on in this game, he got his strikeouts up. That one didn't work.
2 on, nobody out for Reddick, who does not have a hit with the Dodgers. Since the trade from the Oakland A's. In there for strike 1 at 87. Eduardo pitched quite well his last time out. He went into the 7th inning at Seattle, a 2-1 Red Sox win. He had no decision, but he went 6 1/3. He allowed only 3 hits and 1 run. Red Sox would win that game on the 9th inning Mookie Betts home run. To center field. Bradley right there. And Jackie makes the play to runners hold. Gonzalez back to second and Hernandez to first. One man out. The Red Sox end of summer family pack is back this year. It's a special ticket offer. You get free parking, a free duck tour ride to and from the park, and a free hot dog and soda with each ticket, courtesy of Aramark. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/familypack. Scott Van Slyke is next. He's in left field, hitting .224 with 1 home run. His dad, Andy, was an outstanding defensive outfielder for many years in the National League with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Scott's taller. He's 6'4", about 220 pounds. He's bigger.
He's all about hacking too. He's having kind of an off season this year, not getting the at bats, not hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but he has instant power when he comes to the plate. This is a dangerous spot to have him up.
Does not play a whole lot. Rides the bench frequently. That'll miss. He's appeared in just 19 games. He's played some first base, some outfield, and today in lefts. First and second. One man away, and Rodriguez trying to get out of this with a double play ball. And this is a double play candidate. The 1-1. 93, and that one ate him up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think Van Slyke's one of those guys that his career, I believe, would take off if he could get out of this organization. Needs an opportunity with some team to play more than he's playing. He's had flashes of consistent playing time with the Dodgers, and when he gets that, he's a very good player.
The 23-year-old left-hander with a 1-2, and that one slapped toward left, but he hooked it foul and did not hit it sharply. And now Leon goes out for a little conversation with Rodriguez, who turned 23 on the 7th of April. And with his spring training knee injury and his tipping issues, he's had a rough sophomore year. .591 earned run average coming in, but seems to be rounding into form here in August finally. Looking a lot more like the guy who went 10-6 with a .385 ERA his first year.
Well, your mental abilities can really help you. I mean, I believe that he thinks that he's straightened that off. Whether he's tipping pitches or not anymore, he believes that he is not. That goes a long way.
1-2 and cut on and missed. He strikes out Van Slyke.
Again, going with that high fastball to get the strikeout. I think a lot of people all of a sudden realize that he's worked on his slider and it's a much better pitch, so people are looking for that. And look at how much better that makes that fastball up in the zone, right by him.
Sends up A.J. Ellis, the catcher, hitting a light .205 with 1 home run. A golden chance for Rodriguez to not only get out of the inning without any runs, but to have the pitcher lead off next inning. Ross Stripling on deck. And is inside for ball 1.
A.J. Ellis rarely swings at the first pitch or early in counts.
Runners leading at first and second. No score in the second inning. And he wouldn't chase on the high heater there. That's the same pitch that got Van Slyke, and a count 2-0.
Yeah, that's a pitch you got to save for late. You don't want to be going up in the zone unless you need the strikeout. You don't need strike 1 or strike 2 with it. That's where you're looking for strike 3.
He's falling behind. Here comes the 2-0. And that is down low, according to the umpire Chad Whitson. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah. AJ doesn't swing, man. He'll go up there and wait forever. Yeah, it's could have been called a strike. We've seen a bunch of low strikes called this year.
So 3-0, Stripling on deck with 2 down. And that was a bit generous. And certainly Ellis thinks so. Kind of hard to figure out the strike zone so far today.
Yeah, AJ's saying, you know, I sit back there and catch all those pitches. That thing's away. You don't call on that one. I'm sitting back there.
Hitters count with Gonzalez and Hernandez aboard. Socked into left. Benintendi will not get it. It drops in for a base hit. Here comes Gonzalez. And the throw will be cut off and a run is in. A.J. Ellis with the RBI single. Sounded like he busted his bat, and it makes it 1-0 Dodgers. Their third single in the inning. They didn't scald it, but he'll pick up his 12th RBI.
I've got a 3-1 pitch. Good hitters count. Off the end of the bat, he was out in front. That was just 89 miles an hour on that. That didn't really look like a slider, but it was either cutter or hung it. Wasn't as good fastball.
Didn't appear to do much. So the number 8 hitter drives in the first run. That plates Gonzalez and sends up Stripling. Hitting .077. And he does have runners at first and second. And now he has a 1-0 lead. And the lefty's 0-1. He fires away. 1-1. Now the last game of this long West Coast swing coming up tomorrow at 7:10 East Coast time. David Price on the mound. He'll go in 9-7. Price had the opportunity to win 3 games on this trip. He has yet to win, despite pitching 1 great game and then 7 innings of a great game, till he fell apart in Seattle the other night. So he's had really good stuff here on the West Coast trip, but no wins. He'll get another crack at it. And it swung on a foul tip, not held by Leon, so they'll do it again.
It's crazy when you think about 20 games in a row and you get an off day on Monday, but you're going to get home very, very early on Monday. There's the matchup for tomorrow that you were talking about, Dave.
Brandon McCarthy will pitch. Initially he was, then it was going to be Rich Hill, and now it's McCarthy because Hill's blisters flared up again. 1-2, and he strikes him out. But a little bit of damage against Erod. He gives up a run on 3 hits, and it's now 1-0 Los Angeles.
Top of the third, the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead. I'm Garen Austin. Hi, everyone. In case you missed it earlier, Dustin Pedroia is out of the lineup today after leaving yesterday's game after taking a severe foul ball off his shin. Now, John Farrell said that he has improved and he is feeling better and he is available to pinch hit, but however, they do expect him back in the lineup tomorrow. Guys?
Okay, Garen, thank you very much. So Brock Holt manning second base today. He has a base hit. It'll be Mookie Betts to lead it off. He has a hit. Red Sox loaded up the bases in the first inning on those 2 singles and a Jackie Bradley walk, but could not get a run in, and it is 1-0 Los Angeles. Mookie continues to hit 310, 23 home runs. Mookie and David Ortiz rank 1-2, Ortiz number 1 in the majors in extra base hits. Ortiz was 62 and Mookie Betts with 59.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Out of the number 1 spot in the order to have 59 extra base hits at this point in the season. Across for a called strike. In fact, no other leadoff hitter has more than 44 extra base hits in the majors.
Dave, when this season started, I was cautiously optimistic about guys like Bogaerts and Betts and Bradley having good seasons again because it's so difficult to do that. I was really saying if they come close to the numbers they put up last year, they are then emerging stars in this game.
Chops that one through the hole. Nobody over there and right through for a base hit. He's 2 for 2. And he has 5 hits in the first 2 games of the series. Bring your company to a Red Sox game this year. Enjoy one of Fenway's special pregame spaces accommodating as many as 200. For tickets and information, visit redsox.com/groups. I was highly optimistic he would bowl his 10th perfect game. 300 game. 300. Hasn't quite gotten there yet. He's stuck at 9.
That's too bad. He might be concentrating a little bit more on his day job.
Maybe. Here's Brock Holt, base hit first time up.
How's that shift working against Mookie?
Opened up a gaping hole for that single.
Well, I'm just really down on it lately. I just see how it changes the way the infielders have to play. It's so overdone. If you look at the numbers on Mookie Betts, he's not a dead ball hitter. Doesn't make sense.
The 0-1 slicer foul. The Dodgers were one of the teams that were using that laser technology to position outfielders. You hear about that?
I've heard of a lot of the crazy things they're trying.
So I don't know where it was coming from, but the laser would point to a spot, say, where an outfielder is supposed to be positioned with that hitter. But they had to get clearance from the opposing team in order to use it, and no one was giving them that permission.
Can the players see the laser?
That's the point, yeah.
It's like a little beam that shows up to your left, and you should stand over there.
That was supposed to be the point. Here's the 0-2 pitch now to Brock Holt. There goes Betts. Great jump, and it's pop foul back out of play. He had that one stolen. And I mean easily.
Yep. Good time to run, but Brock has to swing the bat with a strike there. I just want to see Mookie run more. Watch the jump that this kid gets. Every aspect of his game spot on. Perfect crossover step. For all the young kids out there, that left foot's supposed to cross over first before your right foot moves at all. It's exactly what Mookie did.
Looking for number 18. Not running here. And that drifts outside. I was talking with Nomar Garciaparra, great Red Sox, of course, who's now one of the analysts for the Dodgers, and he said the Dodgers don't shift nearly as much as most National League clubs. Especially in double play situations, it's usually straight up as they are right now. Betts again not running. Here's Kendrick, off balance throw, got him there, back to first, not in time, nearly thrown away. Gonzalez had to come off the bag, and so Holt now the runner at first base with one away. Xander Bogaerts trying to get himself out of a slump. He's up next. DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com. Xander had a long and bad first inning, but he struck out with 2 men on. Red Sox trailing here 1-0 in the third. In the middle game of this series. Xander, even with the 8 for 40 skid, is tied for second in the majors with 143 hits.
Going away from Xander.
And a called strike to even it up.
We've seen him swing at more bad breaking balls, and I think that's a product of him trying to get out in front a little bit too much, and he's a little too pull happy. Go back to getting that inside out swing going the other way, because they're going away from him a lot more these days.
Stripling with a 1-1. Runner holding. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stripling missed all of the 2014 season because of Tommy John surgery. He was a college star at Texas A&M, where he was an All-American before the Dodgers drafted him in the 5th round. He was on the Texas A&M staff with Michael Wacha.
Pretty good.
So it's a pitching talent. And Xander watched that all the way back into the mitt for a ball.
Well, he had that great first start for the Dodgers.
In his major league debut on April 8th, Dave Roberts took him out of the game when he had tossed 7 1/3 no-hit innings at San Francisco, and took him out because he was at 100 pitches and he was coming off Tommy John. 2-2 and fouled away by Bogaerts, and the game was in San Francisco, and he's throwing a no-hitter against the Giants, and they booed Dave Roberts for taking him out.
Sure. Trying to protect his player, though. I understand coming off of surgery like that. Sometimes I think the potential injury to a player is overplayed, but not in that case.
Yeah, the Giants won in 10. Stripling said later it was the right decision to make. 2-2 coming. Up and in. Dave Roberts getting a lot of kudos here. He's become a popular manager. I think they feel like Dave has gotten them about 4 or 5 wins because of moves he's made, the way he's handled the bullpen. In particular, he's getting a lot of credit for that.
It's a guy that commands a lot of respect. Well deserved for him. I quite frankly wasn't sure how it would work out when they made that move, but I think it was an excellent hire.
3-2 runner goes, and a ground ball toward the middle. Seager again has it, flips the second safe onto first and in time, but did not get Brock Holt in the middle as he went in sliding hard, and he is safe. 2 down. So Bogaerts out at first base.
Here's the way the slide rule at second base has changed things, Dave. No way would you flip this ball to your second baseman if Betts was in a situation where he could go there, or Brock Holt could go in there and take somebody out. Now they can't take anybody out. You're safe anyway, but he would have slid right into him hard. Seager would have never bothered throwing to second. He would have just gone on to first if he thought he was going to get his second baseman aired out.
So it is a 6-4-3 for the out at first base. Brings up David Ortiz with first base open. 1-0 Dodgers here in the 3rd. He is grounded to second. Took a sharp play by Kendrick on a dive to steal a hit from him in the 1st inning. So Ortiz up for the 2nd time. He's driven in 87 runs. Breaking ball in there for a strike. According to Elias, David is tied with Dave Winfield for the most extra base hits in the season for a player 40 or older at 62.
Got a few games left, doesn't he?
The 0-1 fastball missing. Could not get Big Papi to chase. 1-1. As mentioned, the Sox 1-2 in extra base hits. Ortiz and Betts. Right behind the reigning most valuable player, Josh Donaldson of Toronto.
And his teammate.
Who's a good pal of Big Papi's. Here comes the 1-1.
Okay.
High and tight at 90.
So you have 2 teammates on the Red Sox at the top of the list, and then Donaldson and Encarnacion, 2 teammates right behind them.
Toronto playing very well. They've won 4 straight. They are tied for first with Baltimore, 2 games in front of the Sox. Stripling's 2-1. And a high fly ball into left field, but kind of a lazy fly. Van Slyke back there to make the catch, and the Red Sox stranded base runner. So far they have left 4 men on. Red Sox moment honoring the '86 Red Sox season. Game number 109. The Red Sox beat the Tigers 9-6. Both Jim Rice and Don Baylor had 2 hits and knocked in 2 runs for the Red Sox.
There's a good 1-2 punch in those 2 guys.
On to the last half of the 3rd inning here in Los Angeles, California. Great to have you with us. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin. And it's 1-0 Dodgers. Left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez looking for his 3rd win of the season. And he has the top of the order here in Howie Kendrick, who's 0 for 1 with a liner to first. Former Angel staying in Southern California.
Dave, we talked so much about his versatility and what he means to this club. It was an odd signing for them. The fans weren't all that excited about first because they traded Dee Gordon away, who was starting to come into his own as a player. Went on to win a batting title and then, of course, had PED issues.
This guy's been a good hitter over an 11-year major league career. You look at his numbers, with the Angels, 1 year he hit .322, 1 year he hit .306, 297, 295. Makes great contact.
Yeah. I think Dodger fans were worried about the fact that he was starting to get older, over 30, and Dee Gordon was like 24 years old at the time.
The 1-2. Raked foul. And quickly into the stands.
This little girl came up with it. One guy, the girl in the pink shirt, came up with it. One guy was trying to catch it, but he completely turned around, wasn't looking at the ball trying.
Is it my imagination, or is it almost all Red Sox fans making these catches?
Yes, they're showing Dodger fans how to do it.
Line. Oh, what a play by Holt from shallow right. He'll throw him out. Well, that's a Pedroia kind of play with Dustin out of the lineup today, but Red Sox not losing anything defensively.
That is complete extension. And you also have to judge how hard and how high this ball is going to come up when it bounces. Just a fantastic play by Holt.
Well, that is highway robbery. Kendrick has had 2 taken away today.
Yeah, he took 1 away, so we take 2 away from you.
Yes. David Ortiz took the first one off him. And Brock Holt the next one. Here's Corey Seager. He's 0 for 1. Outstanding young hitter, although he was 0 for 4 last night. He's 0 for 1 in this one. 22-year-old star in the making. Brought him up last year, and there was a lot of buzz about him because he was the #1 prospect, and all he did was hit .337 in 100 at bats. Yeah. Like so much for that big league stuff.
Yeah.
19 home runs for him. Dodgers leading it 1-0 in the third. And a 1-1 to Seager.
Well, Dave, you saw his brother. Now you're seeing Corey Seager. What do you think? Well, there they all are.
Justin Seager at A ball, scuffling along at 212. The other two are really established. A big swing and a miss there. That was up in his eyes at 94, and he could not connect.
Consistently going up there, Erod. Now I think he found a new way to maybe attack hitters and get guys out. Up, up, up. He's been there. He's gotten the Dodgers to chase. He still has that slider. Let's see if it comes out here.
3-2.
Couldn't get him to chase that one. Yeah, I think, Dave, that this kid right here is going to be the best of the brothers.
One out, base is empty. Justin Turner on deck, and the 3-2 to Seager. Fouled away sharply.
Oops.
Today's suits designed by Joseph Aboud, custom made in the United States of fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. 3-2 again. Got a piece of it. Seager's a big kid. He's 6'4", about 220, 225.
He's just 22 years old, so you got to figure he's going to put even more weight on as he gets older.
He got him. He came back at 94, again elevating that fastball to strike out Seager.
It's been a good formula for him tonight. Or today, I guess I should say. Zip. He's got good giddy up on that. We really haven't seen a whole lot of 96 out of him, but 94 in that area in the daytime. Remember his daytime problems that he used to go through. Wasn't pitching very well when the sun was shining.
He has struck out 4. He got this gentleman the first time, Justin Turner. He punched him out in first inning and starts him off with strike 1. And next inning, we're going to share some of the interview that we were lucky enough to have with the great Vince Scully before today's game got underway. He very generously allowed us into his booth. It's the second day in a row that Vin is going almost tightless. And this is very, very unusual.
It is. Yesterday, and maybe he's been doing it more this season, but I worked here for 10 years, never once saw him without his tie on.
Flied off the end of the bat. Betts to come on in. Still coming, but he'll make the play. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Erod. And after 3, 1-0, the Dodgers. Nothing, and I had a chance to talk with Vin Scully, the legendary voice of the Dodgers, before today's game about the legacy he will leave behind.
Oh, I don't know about legacy. I'll tell you what I will miss the most. Will not be the players, although I've admired them, but as the years go by, as I've gotten older, there's naturally a big difference now between where I am and where the players are. What I will miss the most is what I've loved the most, the roar of the crowd. That's the #1 miss for me. Maybe I'll get some old records out and just play crowd roaring, and that'll make me feel better. But that's going to be the thing that I miss. Legacy, no, God has been very good to me, and he's allowed me to do what I love for 67 years. So what I would like to leave is the thought in people's minds that I didn't do anything. All of it's in his hands, and for that I am eternally grateful.
As modest as they come.
Every day. The best ever.
We'll have more on the post game from that interview. He talks about Fenway Park. One man out as Jackie Bradley lined to right. Sandy Leon, the batter here. He is 0 for 1. Talks about Fenway and calling a football game at Fenway when he was just a kid. And it's a great story. I hope you get a chance to tune in and hear that. He loves Fenway Park.
And that was just a good teaser because I know you had some good juicy questions for him too.
Sandy coming off a big night last night with a 2-run homer, the RBI single, the sac fly to drive in a run, and continues to produce at a remarkable level. Look at it, his minor league numbers once again today. 612 career games in the minors, and Sandy Leon hit .238. Lunging to pop that one up. That'll twist foul out of play. Just trying to piece together exactly where this season came from and how he got here.
I think every once in a while for certain players something different just clicks with you, and I think that his relationship with the 2 hitting coaches on this team are different than what he's experienced before. I think he's put more time into his career. I think he saw an opportunity that maybe he had a chance to blossom as a major league player, and he's dedicated.
1-2.
I've said this many times about him, that he last year he'd give you a great at bat and then hit a weak ground ball somewhere. That doesn't happen this year. It's a completely different swing.
He's always been a fine defensive catcher with a good arm. A 2-2 just off the outside. That's the way Stripling's trying to get the Red Sox to go after it. Now, Victor's had a big role in it too as the assistant hitting coach, and he draws raves from people like Xander Bogaerts. There's a swing. He golfs that one high into right field, and Reddick backing up, but room.
He just barely missed that one, didn't he, Dave?
He did. He didn't miss it last night when he went down the left field line. 2 down. Tune in to NESN August 29th and 30th for coverage of the WEEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. 2 up, 2 down for Travis Shaw, who struck out in the second inning. Red Sox had a great chance to jump on Stripling right away in the first inning, but did not score despite loading the bases. Fouled away for strike 1 by Travis. And is this going to be one of those games where that missed opportunity right away haunts you the rest of the day? 26-year-old right-hander on the mound. That one down the right field line is going to fall in for a base hit. Will it be extra bases? Reddick has an excellent arm. He's going to make sure he holds him to first base. He's always had one of the better right field arms in the game.
And again, that's knowing the game and knowing who you're playing against. Shaw, on many guys, would have taken off, knowing that Reddick has to make this play and then turn to make the throw. That's the difference in your decision making, whether you go or not. But he knows Reddick has a great arm, so he says, "Oh, no, I can't go on him."
So here comes the second at bat of the day for Benintendi. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Bounding ball, second baseman Kendrick there, and a short toss will get him. On one pitch, he's retired. That's all for the Red Sox. Fast inning, 1-0 Los Angeles. is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. What a view of Dodger Stadium here in Chavez Ravine. And look at all that parking. Acres and acres of parking.
You'd be amazed at how many times when they have a sellout that it's hard to find a spot.
A lot of cars here on a typical Saturday afternoon. Eduardo Rodriguez back at it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Adrian Gonzalez punched a single to the outfield and would later be driven in the 2nd inning for the only run of the ball game.
Travis Shaw came all the way in on that bunt attempt and then went all the way back out to play his position over on the other side of the infield.
Yes, to the right of second base. Brock Holton shallow right. And David Ortiz at first base behind the bag. Gonzalez 1 home run away from his 300th home run and would become the 7th active 300 home run hitter with 400 doubles in Major League history, along with David Ortiz, Adrian Beltre, A-Rod, Beltran, Pujols, and Cabrera.
Watch this, Dave. Shaw comes into your picture here, was playing third base, and because the bunt attempt, they figure he's not going to do it again. Now they put the regular shift on and he goes way over there.
Big swing and a miss by Gonzalez. So the count 2-2.
It's your exercise in if you're shifting. If you're the third baseman, a lot of times they put you way on the other side of the field. Leave the shortstop where he is.
Dodgers with 3 hits against the left-hander. That one up the middle. A slide and a miss by Shaw. So out of position and kind of looked like it there.
Yeah.
And a base hit for Gonzalez. He's 2 for 2.
As a third baseman, you don't have to range that far before you're going to make a dive. Third base, it's a step and a dive. Now he's got to run about 3 or 4 steps and act like a second baseman and try to dive for a ball. It didn't look quite as good doing it. Third baseman, first baseman never have to go that far to get a ball.
Did get his glove on it. Here's Hernandez now. He singled his last trip, 1 for 1 today. Up the middle, will it squeak through? And it will for a base hit into center field. Gonzalez stopping at second. These guys in the middle of the order are a combined 4 for 4. Gonzalez and Hernandez. That barely made it.
Yeah, that's 2 plays right there where you're thinking maybe both of them should have been made. Maybe even E-Rod should have got this himself. It just trickled past him. Not a great effort, and then Bogey just out of his reach up the middle. That ball wasn't hit hard.
It'll bring up Reddick. And even though he's hitless as a Dodger, he can be very dangerous. Good power. Although not having an outstanding year, and as you can see, 0 for 13 since the trade from Oakland.
That's what facilitates the Red Sox going out there and actually talking about possible bunt defenses with Reddick up there now.
5 Dodger hits, back-to-back singles. Nobody out in the inning. 1-0 Los Angeles. And in there for strike 1 at 92. Rodriguez's best outing of the season was certainly against the Yankees on the 16th of July. That was a day game. He went 7, 4 hits, 1 run, got the win. He fires the 0-1 to Reddick. Rip but foul. My opinion is that he's better when he's pitching to contact and not trying to strike guys out.
Yeah, I think when you use a good mix of pitches, you know, sometimes you have to try to get a strikeout, and he's figured out how to do that today going up in the zone, but he's got to throw fewer pitches and more strikes so that he can last longer into games.
Trying to get Reddick with the 0-2, and that's too high. He's used that high fastball to good effect today. Scott Van Slyke on deck. He whiffed his first time up. Red Sox are down a run, and Rodriguez in a bit of trouble here.
Baseball law would say go down and away with the slider on this pitch.
Cut on and missed. Again with the elevated heater to strike out another batter.
And people always ask, well, if everyone knows that you're going to go up and in and then down and away, why does it work so often? Because occasionally you do this. You double up on fastballs up and in. So a hitter can't just lean out over the plate and say he's definitely throwing me a slider, because that will happen to you.
Reddick upset, not a strike, 92 miles an hour, but he gets him. He struck out this guy last time up, Van Slyke, in the second inning. He takes low for ball one. You talked about conversations you've had with Eduardo about the slider, the evolution of that pitch from being non-existent at the beginning of the season to a very big pitch for him now.
To the point where he wouldn't even throw it. It was so non-existent. He said he was trying to put too much spin.
The 1-0 waved at and missed. That one disappeared on him.
He said he was kind of throwing it almost like a curveball, like really trying to flip it out over and get some spin on it. And now he says he just throws it like his fastball, and at the very end he just hooks it a little bit at the end, and that's worked out so much better for him, which kind of is the textbook definition of how you throw a slider.
The 1-1 to Van Slyke, who's hit only one home run this season and won't go after that one. Runners at first and second, one away. Red Sox have one more on this trip coming up tomorrow. They will rest on Monday, ending a string of 20 games in 20 days. 2-1 golf toward right. Betts right there. The runners stay put, and there are two down. Ellis will be next. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Adam Pellerin and Jim Rice will break it all down. You'll hear from Rodriguez and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. So back-to-back hits and then 2 outs on a strikeout and a flare to right field. Now a conference, and Carl Willis is going to come on out. This is ahead of A.J. Ellis, who had a long at bat, finally singled in a run in the second inning with 2 down, and that is the difference in the game. 1-0 Dodgers. What's this about?
You know, I'm trying to figure it out. It's, you know, it's not a pep talk. It may be how you're going to go after Ellis, but it's taken a long time to do that. Willis didn't even come out there until after the players gathered and were about ready to disperse.
They're going to hit for the pitcher given the opportunity. They're going to bring a pinch hitter to the on-deck circle. A.J. Ellis will bat first.
That's because Stripling has been thrown out of the bullpen. They didn't expect to get a long outing out of him.
That's Chris Taylor in the on-deck circle. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Rodriguez trying to get out of this jam. Ellis, a very pesky hitter, even for a guy hitting in the low 200s. That time aggressive, but he fouls it away for strike one. Dodgers do have activity in their bullpen. Grant Dayton, a left-hander, and they'll be going to him in a moment.
They did not expect Stripling to go very long, but he certainly gave him a great outing for how long he did go.
0-1 pitch, too high. He got out of that first inning situation with the bases loaded. Xander Bogaerts struck out. David Ortiz grounded out. Sandy Leon grounded back to the pitcher. Red Sox left them loaded. Gonzalez at second. Of course, very slow of foot. And Hernandez at first. Here's the 1-1. And a pop up into center field. Jackie Bradley will saunter in and put it away. So Erod with some good work there to strand 2 base runners. Going to the 5th, 1-0 Los Angeles. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Back in Los Angeles, 1-0. The Dodgers have the slim lead. They've out-hit the Sox 5-4 to this point. They're going to send Ross Stripling back out there. He's got the pitcher leading off. His pitching line brought to you by Eastern Lexus Dealers. Threw 4 hits, 1 walk. It came in the first inning when he loaded the bases. The Red Sox failed to score. A little chopper and a foul ball just off the line by Eduardo Rodriguez.
Very close.
Would have been his first big league hit.
That would have been nice. Oh, man, that's close down that line. Jim Wolf says nope.
Eduardo struck out looking in the second. 1-1. On deck, Mookie Betts and then Brock Holt.
Not quite the same hitter that you saw launching balls into the seats at Fenway, huh?
Not quite, not yet. And he chops that one foul. I honestly did not expect that version to show up at Dodger Stadium. All due respect to Eduardo.
He's battling right now, though. Fouled a couple pitches off. Hang in there.
1-2 from Stripling. And he struck him out. So Eduardo is 0 for 2. One away in the Red Sox 5th. Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games. Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace, RedSoxReplay.com. Best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game.
Look at all the Red Sox shirts.
Feels like Red Sox Nation Hollywood out here in Los Angeles. Mookie Betts 2 for 2. Pair of singles for Mookie, who's now hit safely in 8 straight. 3 doubles, 3 home runs over the life of the hitting streak. Rockets that one, but the second baseman Kendrick gathers it and gets him 2 fast outs in the 5th.
Man, even his outs are bullets somewhere.
So Betts now 2 for 3. Brock Holt trying to get some going with 2 down. He is singled and hit into a force play. Starting today is second base. Dustin Pedroia out for the afternoon. Seems like Pedroia will be back in there on Sunday. Prosper called strike 1 after fouling that ball off his shin last night.
I would say if Pedroia is out of the lineup tomorrow, it will have been a big fight between he and John Farrell somewhere along the line, because he wants to play tomorrow.
Softly hit but foul.
I've showed you this before, and it hurts every time we show it to you. Last night, him fouling that ball off of the upper ankle area. Stayed in the game for a while there, and then finally came out.
Made a couple of plays at second base, but he was limping. The 0-2 gently hit to the first baseman. Gonzalez will have that. Flips to the pitcher, and he makes the play at first base. And down go the Red Sox. 1-2-3. We're at the midway point, middle of the 5th inning. We stay right here. It's our stay in the park from Dodger Stadium. Back at Dodger Stadium in LA, 1-0. The Dodgers have the lead as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the Dodgers will bring up a pinch hitter in Chris Taylor to hit for Stripling. So the starter now out of the contest. I don't think the Red Sox will weep over that prospect.
Nah, he did a pretty good job. I mean, this is one of those games that you talked about, a huge game in this road trip that the Red Sox need to win, going up against a guy who hadn't made that many starts. And yet the bats are dormant.
And Taylor comes off the bench and knocks a single into left field. So he's aboard, and Howie Kendrick on the way up next. That is 6 hits off of Rodriguez. Second straight inning they've had the leadoff man on, and the 3rd time in the game. So Stripling went 5, allowing no runs, 4 hits. Just called up from AAA Oklahoma City to make a start today because of all their pitching injuries, and gave the Dodgers a big lift. Red Sox really did nothing with him.
Had a chance to get his lunch in that 1st inning.
He could actually win it. He went deep enough. Kendrick has lined to first and grounded out to second. Nothing routine about either one of those plays because he probably should have had a base hit on both of them. But Ortiz stole one from him, as you see Dayton still throwing in their bullpen. And Brock Holtz stole the other. Holtz was a very difficult play as he went diving into short right field to steal it. Rodriguez falling behind on Kendrick. 2 balls, no strikes. Taylor at first. Red Sox have had their way with the National League. They're 9-3 against the NL. Fouled away. It's been going on for quite a number of years in interleague play, where the Red Sox have beaten up the National League.
Best team in baseball since '03 in interleague play.
Red Sox winning last night 9-0.
161 and 93 over that period. That's pretty good.
Here's the 2-1 to Howie Kendrick. The youngster Seager on deck. Top of the order is where Rodriguez has been particularly good today. Kendrick, Seager, Turner, 1, 2, 3, combined 0 for 6.
He's been able to wiggle his way out of some problems too, giving up a couple quick base hits in a couple of innings and then getting out of it. Giving up just the 1 run, but that 1 run right now is beating him.
The left-hander from Venezuela delivers too high. Red Sox 2 games behind Baltimore and Toronto, who will play tonight, not against each other. Red Sox opening a 6-game homestand Tuesday against the Yankees in Arizona. That's on the road again, where the Red Sox will spend much of the rest of the season. A 3-1, and he missed badly there for ball 4.
Yeah, Dave, you're going to be using that phrase a lot for the rest of the season, on the road again.
First and second this summer. Pump up the fun with Irving Oil's $5 million giveaway. 3 ways to play. You can drive away with a Ford Escape, $5,000 in cash, or the grand prize of $100,000. Get your game ticket at Irving Oil today. John Farrell on the phone to the bullpen. Now Willis out to the hill. The Red Sox bullpen will get active.
Getting into that heart of the order now with Seager, Turner, and Gonzalez coming up, and you're already in trouble with guys on in front of them. Nobody out.
First and second, nobody out. Red Sox already down 1-0. It's Barnes starting to loosen. So the walk of Kendrick puts him in trouble for the 2nd consecutive inning, and for the 3rd time in 4 innings, multiple base runners. Here's a guy who can hit it out of the ballpark too, and Seager, 19 home runs. Just saw his brother Kyle in Seattle. An outstanding third baseman. He's a Gold Glover. Line shot, fair down the line. Taylor heading for third. He's going to score easily. Kendrick on his way to third. They stop him there. It'll be a run-scoring double for Seager to make it 2-0 Dodgers. He jumped all over that one.
Well, right before that pitch, I saw David Ortiz creep in about 6 or 7 steps. I don't think he was really worried about Seager dropping down a bunt. I'm not sure where he was. And then he just rifled that ball right past David. See David right there. Look at him coming in. And then ball's hammered.
52 RBIs for Seager. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. That's 3 consecutive base runners against Erod here in the 5th, and brings up Justin Turner. He has struck out, flied out, 0 for 2. Inside for ball 1. Turner, their top RBI man in the lineup, with 64. Big trouble for Erod. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Turner's hit safely of 11 of his last 13, hitting .345 with 4 homers and 14 RBIs. So right now he's pretty well locked in.
He has become one of their best players.
I think you could argue he's been their best hitter. Second and third, nobody out. 1-2. Turner, a California native who started Cal State Fullerton, was an All-American there. But a more famous Cal State Fullerton graduate showed up back in the day to work out with him and the team. Turner got to play second base in an intra-squad game with Kevin Costner, who went there and showed up on occasion to play with them. Probably getting ready for a baseball movie.
One of the many he's done.
1-2 is high. You were in one of them.
For love of the game, yes. A lot of fun. Pretty good movie if you didn't think it was going to be a good movie. If you thought that was going to be a blockbuster and you're all excited to go see it, you were probably disappointed. If you saw it 2 years later, you're like, not bad.
I saw your name in the credits, and I think you know which way I was thinking at that point.
I deserved an Oscar?
Not quite. To ground ball to short. The runners will freeze as Bogaerts gets it and throws on to first to retire Turner, and the runners holding at second and third. That's the first out in the inning. But Gonzalez next. At the Cancer Center at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, doctors and scientists are together on therapies of the future today. From developing new treatments to delivering leading compassionate care. Learn more at bidmc.org/Cancer Center. Rodriguez trying to hang on, the infield in for the Red Sox. Gonzalez is 2 for 2 today. Only one away. A busted bat pop-up. Is that going to fall in? Bogaerts racing out. Can't get it. In to score Kendrick. Seager will hold it third, and that'll make it 3-0 Dodgers. The infield was in, and no one could get to it. Gonzalez has his third hit.
That's the only place you could hit that ball with the infield in. I mean, goodness, that's just an easy out any other time, but with the infield in, trying to cut off the run, that drops harmlessly in there for a base hit. Gonzalez hasn't hit the ball hard all day, and he's got 3 hits.
Yep, perfect spot to drive in Kendrick.
Leader.
Here comes John Farrell. So Rodriguez in and out today, and now out for the day. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Barnes coming in 3-0 Los Angeles. by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Hair Cuttery, smart looks, smart prices. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Inside Dodger Stadium, the day is done for Eduardo Rodriguez. In this inning, a single, a walk, a double, and another single, and he is done. Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. So he ran into all sorts of trouble in this inning. And it was another inning where the leadoff man got a hit against him. That happened on 3 occasions. Never a good sign. Matt Barnes coming in for his 41st appearance. And he inherits runners at first and third, and only 1 down for the Dodgers.
He has generally done a pretty good job when he inherits runners. It's a tough situation to come in, but he's expected to come in here and blow guys away.
Dave Roberts trying to catch a little lightning in a bottle with a home run hitter here. Jock Peterson will bat for Hernandez and stay in the game in the outfield, even though Hernandez went 2 for 2. But 16 home runs for Peterson.
It'll look to you a little bit like Erod just kind of stopped attacking the strike zone there in the last couple innings when he started getting in trouble.
Yeah, not nearly as sharp. There was a key walk as well. That man, Howie Kendrick, would come in to score. Runner at first, breaking, and a bunt attempt, but fouled back to the screen. Surprise there.
A little safety squeeze sort of there. You see Seager coming down the line. Wasn't breaking right away, but these are 2 most powerful hitters, 1 on third, 1 at the plate. You see, Seager wasn't coming as a suicide squeeze. He was waiting to see what happened with the bunt attempt there. Fouled it off and he stayed still.
See what they do here with 1 down and the 0-1 from Barnes. Not bunting. The home run swing instead, and he got fooled. He was looking fastball. And got the breaking pitch.
This is a situation right here where Barnes should just own this at bat now. He has that breaking ball he can go back to. He throws 97 and up. He doesn't have to throw a strike over the next couple pitches. He can get some guys, Jock Peterson, to chase. Peterson's been known to strike out a ton.
And does not thrive in the pinch hitting role, as you saw by that number. First and third, 1 away, and the 0-2 from Barnes. And down he goes on a high heated 98. He fans.
Well, he was sent in there to blow guys away. I'm pretty sure that's a good definition of what he did right there. 3 pitches, just climbs the ladder. See you later. 98 miles an hour.
Brings up Josh Reddick, who has gone hitless in this one. Hitless since they acquired him from Oakland. He has gone 0 for 15 in this one. He has flied to center and struck out. 3-0 Los Angeles.
Oh, timeout on the field. I'm not sure who asked for it. Second base umpire would call a timeout. Bogaerts was talking to him. Sandy Leon now coming out once again, talking about how they're going to defend certain plays, whether there's a stolen base attempt here or not. Middle infielders want to know, are you throwing through? Because if you're not, we won't vacate our position.
First one to Reddick. He won't chase, and downstairs for ball 1. We had a shot there of Torey Lovullo, Red Sox bench coach. This is a homecoming for him to come back to Los Angeles in the Hollywood area. His dad was the producer of the television series Hee Haw.
Yes, he was.
And Guerin will have more on that story. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike.
Yeah, Adrian Gonzalez on first base. He's not going anywhere unless it's some kind of crazy delayed steal, which I just don't think they would do that. Reddick hasn't been swinging the bat very well, but give him an opportunity to drive in a run.
First and third in a 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Reddick. He's had some big years on the West Coast with the Oakland A's. As a home run hitter, he's won a Gold Glove too. since he went to Oakland, and now here with the Dodgers.
I think he's one of those guys that the Red Sox would say got away.
I would think so. 2-1. Waved at and missed on the breaking pitch, and a good one. So 2-2 on Reddick. Barnes trying to get out of this. A jam not of his making. 2 runs in this inning, and 3 in the game against Eduardo Rodriguez. Red Sox have to get into comeback mode today. Down 3-0. Fouled away by Reddick as he hangs in there.
Another pitch at 97. Not bad by Barnes. It's not a situation where he's really trying to get him to chase up in the zone. He wanted to throw a strike and see what happens with it.
Reddick, one of many connections to the Red Sox with this Los Angeles team. Here's the 2-2 from Barnes. Left that one high at 99.
That's the problem with a pitch like that. If you miss, now you're going full. Now you have to be a little more cautious with how you pitch Reddick.
Sox will have Bogarts, Ortiz, Bradley due up when we go to the 6th inning. 3-2 runner at first on the move, and it's flicked foul back to the net. So they will do it again. Eduardo Rodriguez lasting only 4 1/3 today. It was not a step in the direction he's been going. So that gives you a little bit of pause against the Dodger offense that is not overwhelming. 3-2. Line shot. Ortiz made the play. Caught it clean. David Ortiz with the grab, his second fine play defensively, and that saved another run. 3-0 Los Angeles. Special Girls in Baseball episode of NESN Clubhouse. We visit the Monet Davis exhibit at the Hall of Fame and look at the key differences between baseball and softball. That's tomorrow at 5:30 on NESN Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Well, the Red Sox are down by 3 runs as we bring in the 6th inning. Number of changes here for Los Angeles. Grant Dayton is the new pitcher. Just his 2nd appearance of the season at the big league level. And Jock Peterson will stay in the game to play center field. after he struck out as a pinch batter. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out today. Hitting .318, but just 8 for 41 on the road trip. And a lot of routine fly balls in this series, and he'll make the catch at right Reddick for the out. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Adam Pellerin.
First baseman David Ortiz.
Indians continue to roll. Adam, thank you very much. Back at Dodger Stadium, where it's 3-0. The Dodgers have the lead. David Ortiz in the box for the third time today. He has grounded to second and flied to left. Dodgers with 8 hits. The Red Sox only 4. Been a quiet day for the Boston Bats, at least so far.
That's something I don't think you really would have expected against Stripling starting this game. He did a nice job. Kept the hitters off balance. Mixed all his pitches. They had him on the ropes for a little bit, but couldn't get it done. And then nothing.
Facing a rookie left-hander here, and a swing and a miss by Ortiz.
David saw some action defensively. A nice play right there off the bat of Reddick. Corey Seager whistled one by him earlier in that inning for a double and a run scored.
2-2. David asking home plate ump Chad Whitson if he swung at a strike. Dayton just made his major league debut back on July 22nd. They brought him up from the minor leagues from AAA Oklahoma City. And he strikes out Big Poppy. Down he goes on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. David's 0 for 3. He's had a tough road trip. Now 4 for 30. 2 fast outs in the 6th. Jackie Bradley next. Jackie has walked in line to right field. Over shift around to the right on Bradley as he'll look at a strike. Dayton combined at AA Tulsa and AAA Oklahoma City went 5-2 with a .242 earned run average. High fly ball into right. Reddick battling the sun a little bit, but there to make the play. Almost went down on a knee. That's a vicious sun at the moment. The Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. 3-0 Dodgers. Show presented by AAA. Dave Dombrowski talks about the Sox decisions at the trade deadline. Plus a look back at Andrew Benintendi's Major League debut. That's tomorrow at 5 only on NESN. Now the Red Sox have made a change here. David Ortiz is out of the ballgame. After moments ago, swinging and missing for strike 3. Big Papi 0 for 3. Aaron Hill goes into the game to play third base. That moves Shaw over to first to take David's position, and Ortiz is done for the day.
Well, you hope it's not injury related. Maybe he's just a little worn out. He hasn't looked good at the plate for a long time, and of course defensively
he's been golden actually today. As Van Slyke takes a pitch in there for strike 1.
Get a better defensive club on the field right now for the last few innings of this ball game. Maybe they can get back in it.
Van Slyke is struck out and fly to right field. He's got a world-class beard going as he fouls that one off the umpire. That one getting Chad Whitson. And the count moves to 0-2 on Van Slyke.
Now you know it hurts when you're just hanging your arm down there straight, not moving it. Sets up inside and gets it right off the top of that shoulder. Now the umpire has to sit somewhere back there. You can't sit directly behind the catcher all the time because you can't get the view of both sides of the plate.
Sandy Leon never laid a glove on that foul tip. And nailed Woodson. Getting some attention from the Dodger trainer.
They have the same type of catcher's gear that they're wearing underneath their shirt, but that doesn't always protect you. There's always some open spots where you can get hit, where it feels like you're wearing nothing. Ouch.
Dodgers leading this 3-0. Batting here in the 6th. And Whitson will continue despite taking a pretty healthy shot there. So the count 0-2 on Van Slyke, whose dad was quite the practical joker, very lively personality in his years with the Pittsburgh Pirates and then later with St. Louis. And a really fun interview because he'd say anything.
Yep. Scott's pretty quiet and reserved, actually.
It's got to come from Mom. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
His attitude is speak softly and carry a big stick.
Well, not that big at the moment. 220 with a home run.
Nope.
And Barnes trying to put him away, and it's pop foul. Back out of play. Andy Van Slyke was on some of those great Jim Leland teams with Bobby Bonilla and kind of a different version of Barry Bonds back in the early 90s.
The skinny version?
Much. 1-2. He wouldn't chase it. 2-2 on Van Slyke. Did you see what Andy Van Slyke said when he was a coach, though, about Robinson Cano? He said he is absolutely the worst player he has ever seen.
Yeah. And when we talked to everybody in Seattle, they said the exact opposite.
2-2. Down low. I don't want it to be a Robinson Cano love fest. He's a great hitter, but there were a lot of times he did not bother to run out ground balls when he was playing for the Yankees.
Yep, that's what they were saying. And then they said when he got to Seattle, it couldn't have been different. Great teammate, hustles all the time, plays hard.
We burned the Red Sox certainly in Seattle with that huge 3-run homer. Up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. So Van Slyke is aboard. So the leadoff man is on here in the 6th inning. Let's go downstairs to Garen Austin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, Wednesday was a big night for Andrew Benintendi, who went 2 for 3 in his first major league start with a large cheering section in attendance. I talked to Benintendi, and he said getting that first hit was something he'd been dreaming of since he was a little kid, and the ball went back to Cincinnati with his parents. Benintendi also told me that he's always had a large support system throughout his baseball career, and having his parents, his sisters, and so many friends and family members there to experience that day with him is something he will never forget. And guys, he said the team is doing a great job of making him feel comfortable, and actually while I was doing the interview, Hanley Ramirez kept jumping in the shot and basically being Hanley, and he handled it all in stride, so he's fitting in very nicely.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable. He also looks like he's about 14. 22 years old. And as his dad indicated the other night, I thought Guerin's interview with his dad was terrific. It was very revealing of the family, the chemistry in the family, obviously how much they love their son, how proud they are. All of that came through, but of how when he talked about Andrew, that heart rate never gets very high. He's a very calm kid. It takes a lot to get him excited.
We all like guys that do get excited and play this game with emotion, but I think guys that are even keel end up having better careers. It's just easier on everybody. You just don't get too high about things, don't get too low.
0-1 on the way, a swing and a miss by Ellis. It's one of the many things we've marveled at over the years when David Ortiz has batted in situations where he's come up with huge hits. He looks like he just slows everything down. The game doesn't speed up, it slows down for him. Benintendi in the lineup today in left field. Red Sox are down 3-0 in the last half of the 6th. Ellis has gone 1 for 2.
I think Poppy takes that attitude the same as Adrian Gonzalez. I talked to him one time about what he thinks about in certain situations, in RBI situations. He says, I try to remind myself that he's in trouble, not me. He's got to worry about what he does to me, not the other way around.
1-2 on the way. Got a piece of it. Attention Red Sox fans, there's a reason why the Boston Red Sox and the rest of America run on Dunkin'. Because Dunkin's iced coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, the #1 coffee in New England. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. John Farrell in need of some offense today. He's gotten very little, only 4 Red Sox hits. Barnes with a 1-2 runner goes. Here's the throw, the peg on target, and we'll get him. That cuts down Van Slyke. So he's caught stealing by Sandy Leon.
Good jump and an excellent throw by Sandy Leon. And Van Slyke is not a guy you're thinking about stealing, but everything looked good there until the end. There's a nice shot there by Leon. Watch where this ball lands, right there. All you have to do is catch it, put the tag down. Continues to impress behind the plate.
Right now, Dave Roberts is still debating whether or not he's going to challenge. He's decided not to. So 1 out and the base is empty. And 2-2 on A.J. Ellis. Barnes fires and a late cut and a foul away. Eduardo Rodriguez lasted only 4 1/3 today, giving up 3 runs, 8 hits. Robbie Ross Jr. throwing in the pen. Both sides are into their bullpens relatively early. Certainly wasn't the case last night. Stephen Wright went all the way for a complete game shutout, his first shutout, and that'll be in there for strike 3 to freeze Ellis. And 2 down.
Ellis knew it right away as soon as he took that pitch. He was headed back to the dugout. Didn't even have to listen to the umpire make the strike call. He's like, I should have swung at that one.
So here comes the first career at bat for Grant Dayton, the pitcher. .96 in there for strike 1.
Dave Roberts showing some confidence in Dayton. Just got called up to the big leagues and he's running them out there.
And letting him hit for himself. The 0-1. Red Sox will have Leon, Shaw, and Benintendi due up come the 7th.
It's part of the reason. Leon will switch over and hit right-handed, but then back-to-back lefties coming up for Dayton to face.
Did he offer? He did not. Just had a shot at Brian Holiday, who the Red Sox just picked up to be the #2 catcher. Ryan Hannigan has gone on the disabled list with tendonitis in his ankle. Swing and a miss, and that's how that one ends. One base runner, but a caught stealing. We go to the 7th, 3-0 Los Angeles. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. Adam Peller and Jim Rice preview David Price's start tomorrow against the Dodgers. Price is yet to win on this road trip. And after it tomorrow here in Los Angeles, saw David on the field before the game with his dog Astro. I wonder, does he follow Astro around like the rest of us do with a little plastic bag?
Yes, he does.
Good for him.
He's a good dog owner.
Well, you don't know that. You're guessing that.
Well, either that or he's paying someone else to do it. Good dog owner picks up after their dog.
I realize that as Sandy Leon steps in and he takes one. I thought maybe you had some information, but you're just sort of like, well, yeah, that's the right thing to do, and we assume David's going to do the right thing. I assume he's going to do the right thing. Leon has gone 0 for 2 with a grounder to the mound. He's also flied to right field.
You don't see any little duties out there on the field.
I wasn't going to go there, and I wasn't checking. That's
field
your
looks
job.
Good. Field looks good. I don't see anything.
One of your duties, so to speak. Dodgers with 9 hits. The Sox with only 4. The bats have been slumbering here in the LA Sun. Travis Shaw on deck.
They got 3 innings to get it going. We've seen them do that before.
A's Ticket, Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets, with the biggest selection from bleachers to boxes. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Well, 3-1 count now on Sandy Leon. A couple of times in this game, the Red Sox have put the leadoff man on. Each time it was Mookie Betts with a base hit. Nothing has come of it. And he pops it up foul, back out of play.
Sandy was not being shy right there. Got a fastball to hit, put a good swing on it, didn't square it up. It's a big 3-2 pitch here.
Red Sox winners last night, but they're down here tonight, this afternoon, 3-0. 3-2. Checked his swing, and it's high for ball 4. So in the 7th inning, the Red Sox have the leadoff man aboard. Step up your hockey game with Bruins Academy. It's a show just for kids. Don't miss an all-new episode tomorrow at 1. And to catch up on previous episodes, visit bostonbruins.com/Bruins Academy.
This was the risk that Dave Roberts took, sending Dayton up there to go ahead and hit for himself, that he comes out and gets himself in trouble on the mound. They do have a righty in the pen warming up.
Here's Travis Shaw, 1 for 2 today. Homered last night here. And he looks at a ball. He's singled in the 4th inning. A couple of times he's had very productive games on this road trip, including last night in the Red Sox victory. And he fouls that one back. And right to Steve, who did not make the catch.
Oh, man.
How did you not make that catch?
Camera got in the way. My own camera got in my own way. That hurts your thumbs, you know, when you miss it.
Oh, believe me.
Yeah.
There was a big roar that came up from Dodger Stadium. Everyone anticipating a catch, and it was not to be.
Got the ball back.
1-2 on Shaw.
My camera guy all right, almost ran you over.
If you're going to run him over, you'd better make the play.
Well, yeah, I know. He's rubbing his shoulder.
It's right there, Steve. And Lou could have made the catch had you let him.
Well, I know. Well, he was doing his job.
Foul tipped into the mid, and down he goes, hacking for strike 3. And that'll send up Benintendi for the 3rd time today. He's 0 for 2.
Left fielder, Andrew Benintendi.
Now at Fenway, I had one go right off my hands. It's a bad spot to hit for me in the hands.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to make the play. And it took about 3 weeks before the black and blue went away.
I can tell you that in my lifetime, I've never been very good unless I had a glove on my hands to catch anything.
True,
you throw me something, I'll drop it. If I have a glove, I'll catch it.
Exactly right. It's not an easy thing to do. I always admire fans who can make catches on shots like that. And if you can catch something like that at that velocity without a glove, you put a glove on your hand, it's a different matter.
Barehanded, it's tough. I tried to get it up in there, tried to go through it, hit this thumb, and that was about as close as I could get to it.
I'm not making a play with a glove either, as it swung on a miss by Benintendi. 0-2 on the youngster.
I was going to drop this back to the fans in the seats, but they're about 30 feet below us. I was afraid to hurt somebody.
Now hang on to that.
As a souvenir of something I didn't catch?
Well, give it to a youngster on the way out of the park. The 0-2. Benintendi still alive. And Red Sox have the pitcher's spot due up next. Looks like Hanley Ramirez has come out to the on-deck circle. 1 down. Leon at first. Red Sox trail by 3 runs. And the lefty deals. And he gets him. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Benintendi is 0 for 3 today. Back-to-back Ks by Dayton.
It's exactly why they left him in there, to face those 2 left-handed pitchers, and he did the job. Or the 2 left-handed hitters.
Fans, time to vote for the Globies, Boston's biggest sports bash. The Boston Globe sports writers have nominated many of your favorite athletes. Cast your vote now at theglobies.com. The Globies presented by Mercedes-Benz. Sox trying to muster something today. The bats have been asleep. Hanley to hit for the first time here this afternoon. 275 with 14 home runs. He was thinking home run, got all twisted up on the swing and the miss.
Remember the issue with his wrist. It's this big swing, kind of a funny follow through. Pirouette.
And he was 0 for 4 last night, returning to the lineup as he takes a ball. 1-1 the count. Out of the lineup today at the outset, along with Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz started at first base. He's no longer in the game. Poppy went 0 for 3. Made a couple of fine defensive plays at first base. We have not heard the reason he's out of the game. That one is knocked foul in front of the Red Sox dugout. Is your guess that something is up physically with David? Something that we didn't see?
I certainly hope not. I think it just got late in the game here. He hasn't been that productive. They probably wanted to get him off of first base.
I just don't know. Why would you take David Ortiz out of a game? You're trailing 3-0. You need offense.
Yeah, you may need his spot in the order again.
I mean, unless he did something, like he twisted something or strained something. He did have to make a couple of athletic plays at first base. We'll wait for word if there is any.
That was the biggest worry about putting him out there at first base, is that he might hurt himself and be out of games that he could be playing in.
And again, we did not see anything that would indicate that. I want to be clear about that. Cut on and missed, and he is retired on strikes. 3 consecutive strikeouts by the left-hander Dayton. 1 man left. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Aboud, available at Men's Warehouse. I'll be showing you part 2 of my interview with the legendary voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the great Vin Scully. 88 years old, which is impossible to believe.
Yeah.
The impossible has happened.
He is so strong and so amazing at that age.
But will retire at the end of the season, 67 years into his career. Every season with the Dodgers, including the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about what he's been able to do and how physically grueling the job is with all the travel, and he's never been a feeble old man, that's for sure.
Robbie Ross into the game. Red Sox are down 3-0. The bats have been fast asleep today at Dodger Stadium. Howie Kendrick leading things off here for LA. He's gone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run. And he socks a foul out of play. Kendrick hitless in the series. He's 0 for 5. But he did get a run in the 5th inning when he walked and came across. They scored twice against Eduardo Rodriguez, who only lasted 4 1/3 and is on the hook today unless the Red Sox can rally. And they're going to have to do so without David Ortiz the rest of the day as Kendrick goes down swinging for a strikeout, 1 away in the 7th.
Shortstop, number 5, Corey Seager.
CBS Health is a proud supporter of Stand Up to Cancer. We invite you to share your hashtag reasons to stand up by posting a photo or video of why you stand up to cancer and tag @CBS in action. One out for Seager, who doubled in a run in the 5th inning. He's gone 1 for 3. 19 home runs for him, for the rookie, at this point in August. And he certainly does not hit regularly in a home run hitter's haven.
No, he doesn't.
So how good can he be?
I think better than his brother, who's already won a Gold Glove, as you talked about, who's a mainstay up there in the lineup in Seattle. I think this guy's just got more power to all fields. He's 22.
Takes a home run swing, and he comes up empty, and the count moves to 2-2. He was the top-ranked prospect coming into the season by MLB.com, and he has not disappointed.
Dave, he's not a guy that's got.
In play to Brock Holt at second base. 2 down.
He's not a guy that's got the 19 home runs and he's hitting 230. He's hitting 300 with the 19 homers. He's driving in runs.
Third baseman, number 10, Justin Turner.
So these are 2 guys they hit back-to-back in Seager and Turner. They believe they're going to have for some time as power sources in their lineup. They were hoping for more out of Adrian Gonzalez this season in that regard. He only has 9 home runs, although he does have 3 hits today. He is on deck. Now the Orioles and Toronto are tied for the lead in the AL East, tied for first place. They will both play night games. Red Sox are 2 games off the pace. And this 11-game trip will end tomorrow. Now, if the Sox do not recover today and rally for a win, they're going to be 5-5 heading into game number 11, the finale of the trip.
Certainly hoping for better than that when this trip started.
3-0 pitch. That picks up the corner for a strike.
A lot of people would say, well, geez, it's a West Coast trip. It's 11 games in 11 days. What do you expect? Well, I expect better performances against the Angels and the Mariners.
The Looper foul back out of play. And in both of those series, the Red Sox had a win on the table. In all candor, they should have won a couple of more games by now.
You don't get those back.
The game in Anaheim particularly painful because the Red Sox lost it on a defensive play, scoring 2 runs in the 9th inning. A line shot base hit. Turner turned on it. His first hit of the day. He's now 1 for 4.
Now you go back through that road trip and you look at it. Of course, the PD home run there was a game that was probably headed for a loss, and the Red Sox came back and won that one.
Have you heard of Nesson's new automotive website? Give it a visit at NessonFuel.com. You can find everything you're looking for in the world of auto racing, car culture, and automotive lifestyle. Was the loss in Anaheim worse than the one in Seattle, where the Red Sox had a 4-0 lead? Price was cruising. Gonzalez the batter, and he'll take ball 1, and wound up losing after leading 4-0, lost 5-4.
Yeah, I think the first one, because that game was over. Throw the ball home, and basically the ball game's over.
Yeah, double play would have ended it.
Price in his second one, the second ugly loss that the Red Sox took. And he fell apart there, but then someone else came in and gave up the 3-run homer to Cano that made it look worse for him.
Well, the old saying is, play 500 on the road, win 2 out of 3 at home, and you've got yourself a playoff team. Or something very, very close to it. Waved at and missed by Gonzalez. If the Red Sox can come back to Boston 6-5 on this trip, that won't be the end of the world.
Nope.
Knowing that they left a couple of wins out west on the table. Turner at first base. Here's 3-0 Los Angeles. Still time to do something about that. And that'll be in there for strike 3. Made a great pitch to Fan Gonzalez. 1 man left. Red Sox are running out of time, though. We go to the 8th. 3-0 Dodgers. First choice for value and convenience. For every Sox home run this season, Speedway donates to Boston Children's Hospital. All summer long, stop at Speedway and get any size fountain or frozen drink for just 69 cents. Dodgers in front here 3-0 going to the 8th inning. And for more on the inside story on Torey Hollywood Lovello, here's Garrett Austin.
Well, thanks, OB. As you guys mentioned, Torey Lovello is from the area, and he told me that he grew up coming to this ballpark, that his family had season tickets. But he said one of his favorite memories was coming here for the 1980 All-Star Game. He said he sat with his mom, and throughout the game, she kept telling him that Ken Griffey Sr. was going to be the MVP. And he said from now on, anytime he hears MVP, he just thinks of his mom. He said when they came back here, I had to go sit up in those seats. He said it's just so special being back here. But, Steve, you have a lot of memories of this ballpark, too, huh?
Yeah, I worked here for 10 years, so that was a lot of fun. Live in the area, so it's excellent to be able to be in the area and do that. But now in Boston, having just as much fun as I'm sure Torey is.
Mookie Betts leading off here in the 8th inning. He has singled twice. Torey told me that he was a pretty good basketball player in high school here. I mean, good enough that he went to John Wooden's basketball camp. The great UCLA head coach, the Wizard of Westwood. As Mookie jumps back. And at one time, Coach Wooden was working a drill that Torey was playing in, and he blew the whistle and he stopped, and he ran over to Torey and he said, "Young man, you need to make sure your right sneaker is laced properly, because you're going to trip and fall and you're going to cost your team." And he said, "I'll show you how to do it." John Wooden dipped down and showed him how to tie his shoes, a double knot. And every time you see Torey now, he has double knotted his shoes ever since then. One hopper to Turner at third base, and fires on to get him. Joe Blanton's into the ball game now, the stocky right-hander, ranking 4th in the National League in opponent's batting average, so he's tough to hit. Just 162 against him.
I don't know what he did to change, because when he was with Philadelphia, he had come to the Dodgers for a while and really pitched poorly in a Dodger uniform. How he got back in one is amazing, and now he's turned things around.
Brock Holt 1 for 3, playing second base this afternoon. Xander Bogaerts will follow. Red Sox are down 3-0. They've been held to 4 hits. And unable to muster anything on the offensive end today. Although it started out with a lot of promise. In fact, Betts and Holt singled 1-2 to begin the game. And it looked like the Red Sox were going to charge Ross Stripling, the rookie right-hander who started for the Dodgers. But after 5 innings, the Red Sox had not scored on him and only had 4 hits. They loaded the bases in the first. That was easily the best scoring chance all day for Boston. Almost nothing since then.
It looked like it was going to be one of those good MO days for the Red Sox, where they jump out to that early lead in the first inning.
3-1 on Brock Holt. Avilan, the left-hander, worked in last night's game, now loosening in their bullpen. That's a strike to fill up the count on Brock. We are in the 8th inning.
The way your lineup shakes out right now, this may be the best opportunity for the Red Sox to put some runs on the board.
Payoff pitch. That one punched down the line, but he really hooked it. So a foul strike. Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. Adam Peller and Jim Rice will preview David Price's start against the Dodgers. DCU is Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? There's some pressure on Price for tomorrow, because he has yet to win on this road trip. To the shortstop, down for it, Seager. Lengthy throw, and he gets him. He's shown off some range today, left and right.
Yes, he does. We were talking about that in the beginning of this series, how long you think he could be a shortstop, being as big as he is, but he showed the ability to throw it. Nice range. Hard to bend down and pick up the ball when you're 6'4", but then he's got that gun for an arm. Squares himself up. Easy play, really.
I still think we're looking at a third baseman.
Yeah, eventually. I think so, too.
Xander Bogaerts now quiet at the plate. 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. Xander's average has taken a bit of a hit on this trip. It's down to 318. 14 homers. He hooks a single into left field. And just the 5th Boston hit all day. Comes with 2 down in the 8th. And we'll send up Aaron Hill.
Baseman number 18, Aaron Hill.
Hill hitting in what was David Ortiz spot.
About a little bloop and a blast, and see if we can get back into this thing here.
Hill very capable, good power. For the Red Sox, he's hit 1 home run. He has 9 for the season. Since the trade from Milwaukee, the 1 home run. Strike 1. Kenley Jansen throwing in their bullpen, and he can really bring it.
Yes, he can.
Two out, a man on here in the 8th for the Sox. And a wild cut there and a pitch way outside. 0-2 on Hill.
Remember, this spot in the order was the spot that David Ortiz occupied. He left the game early.
Clay Buchholz up and throwing. Down the right field line. Here comes the 0-2 from Blanton. Off the mound, right to Seager. He collects and gets him. That'll retire the side. No runs ahead, 1 left. We go to the last half of the 8th at Dodger Stadium, and the Dodgers lead it 3-0 over the Sox. Brought to you by Xfinity. Erod with a pretty short day. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs. Right now the pitcher of record. Mookie Betts is 2 for 4. Stripling went 5 innings. He can win it. Adrian Gonzalez 3 for 4 against his old team. Robbie Ross on the bump right now. And he'll be taking on Peterson. Who grounds out with a friendly hop to Shaw, who's taken over at first base, and on to Ross for the out. Now, you're always going to see stars here at Dodger Stadium. Now, you worked out here for 10 years. You saw scores of them. We saw the actor Bryan Cranston here yesterday.
Yep, every day.
He's a big fan.
He is a big Dodger fan. Yes, he is. I thought you had one on the list that you were going to show me.
I didn't. I'm done for the day as far as celebrity hunting, but you're bound to run into one, like in the elevator or the escalator. Here's Reddick. He's gone 0 for 3. Still looking for that first hit with the Dodgers.
Josh Duhamel will be here tomorrow.
Yep. He's playing Bill Lee in the movie about the spaceman. Actually got an invite to the premiere as that one is stroked toward right and out of the range of Holt. And it'll be a base hit for Reddick, his first base hit as a Dodger since the trade.
You imagine if Holt snagged that one, because his last at bat, Big Papi robbed him of a base hit. It's been a struggle for him to get one. Just out of the reach of Holt. Reddick might have gone crazy if he couldn't get it. Look at that. Nice try by Brock.
Well, Brock's already made a sensational play today on a ground ball. And Reddick says, yeah, I actually can do that with a brand new team. So that'll do it for Ross. And Clay Buchholz will be brought in to be the next Red Sox pitcher. And we'll take the break as well. Dodgers with a base runner, and one down in the 8th inning, and they lead it 3-0 in Los Angeles. Red Sox are trailing the Dodgers 3-0. Clay Buchholz into the game. Clay did earn the win last Sunday at Anaheim when he went 3 scoreless innings, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. In his best outing out of the bullpen this season. He inherits a runner at first base, and the batter is Scott Van Slyke, who's gone 1 for 3 with a single. Dodgers just had their 11th hit of the day on the base hit by Reddick. They have out hit the Sox 11-5.
Dodger offense has just been bottled up today. Not much going on.
And Clay Buchholz with a 1-0. Popped him up, but that'll go foul back off into the stands.
Tough part for the Red Sox that they're most likely going to have to face Kenley Jansen next inning.
I noticed when I mentioned I had been issued an invitation to a movie premiere here in Hollywood, you didn't say anything.
I figure that happens to you all the time.
Does not happen to me ever.
You don't want to come and see the Bill Lee story?
I would love to. I'd love to. Putting it on the calendar. Stuff never happens to me. I figured you probably got those all the time when you were working out here. The 1-1 from Clay Buchholz. Taken in there for a strike. A.J. Ellis on deck. 3-0 Los Angeles. Red Sox have had very, very few scoring opportunities today. Left the bases loaded in the first inning. Got a base hit in the third, a single in the fourth. There's a walk in the seventh, the base hit in the 8th inning, and that's been it. High and tight at the chest for a ball. So 2-2 on Van Slyke. Price going tomorrow. He opened up this road trip and he will close it. Game time at 7:10. 2-2. And he punches him out. 94 miles an hour right through there to strike out Van Slyke.
Not sure what Van Slyke was looking for in that situation. Maybe a different pitch, different location. I don't think he thought it was up. It's a good pitch there by Clay. Gets the job done.
So 2 down. Here's A.J. Ellis. He's gone 1 for 3 with an RBI single way back in the 2nd inning. Reddick still glued to first base. And the breaking ball in there. He ducked underneath that. And it was a dandy.
I don't see major league hitters doing that very often. Jelly-legged him. Ellis. Whoa.
Very sharp breaking ball to make it 0-1. Just missed with that one, although could have been a strike, and a count 1-1 on Ellis. The Red Sox have due up come the 9th inning. Jackie Bradley, Sandy Leon, and Travis Shaw. Avilan also up along with Jansen. In the Dodger pen. Ground ball toward the shortstop. The toss into second for the force, and in time to retire the side. So indeed we go to the 9th inning. Red Sox looking for some magic. They're down 3-0. And they lead the Red Sox here 3-0 as we bring you the 9th inning in time for our Keep It Moving moment, brought to you by Old Dominion.
Just some nice offensive plays here by the Dodgers that we couldn't figure out how to get Adrian Gonzalez out. He had 3 hits on the day and never really hit the ball hard any of those shots.
Old Dominion Household Services, self-moving services that deliver. So they're going to bring on their closer, the hard-throwing right-hander Kenley Jansen, who has 32 saves. He deals a strike here on Jackie Bradley, who's gone 0 for 2 with a walk. Jansen just selected to his first All-Star game, and he did toss scoreless relief in 43 of his first 48 appearances. He leads all National League relievers in ERA. Jam shot popped up, foul back out of play by JBJ.
32 saves. Look at the eye-popping numbers.
134 earned run average.
Has blown 5 opportunities though, so you can get to him.
Sandy Leon on deck, and then Travis Shaw here in the 9th.
Hey, he's a different pitcher. When he came up with the big leagues, he used to be a catcher. Came to the big leagues, started pitching, was throwing the ball high 90s, 98 to 100. And then 2 years into his career, started throwing a cutter. Now he only throws about 94, but almost every pitch cuts.
The 1-2. Foul back again on a late swing. That was 95.
There's the catcher for the Olympic team for the Netherlands.
Jansen tied for second in the National League with 32 saves. He joins Todd Worrell and Eric Gagne as the only Dodgers with 30 saves. So he has been good for a while. Red Sox attempting to get some offense going. But it's been oh so quiet today here in Los Angeles. Just 5 Boston hits. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Jackie Bradley strikes out. He's 0 for 3 and 1 away in the 9th.
That's what Jansen does. He just runs it up there, throws it by you. 62 strikeouts now against just 7 walks on the season.
So 1 away for Sandy Leon. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 of the Red Sox 5 hits came in the first inning. Their best chance to score when they loaded them up. Sandy had a huge night last night with 4 RBIs, including a 2-run homer. It's been a different story here this afternoon. Right through there for strike 1 at 94. Shaw on deck. At the moment, the Red Sox 2 games behind both the Orioles and Toronto, who are tied for first. Their games will be getting underway shortly. Fouled back.
We've talked all season long how the Red Sox have some horrifying, ugly losses that they've piled up so far this season. If they go on to lose this one, it would just be surprising to me. This was a starter that I thought they'd bang around a little bit in Stripling. This is a Dodger team that's down a little bit after last night's loss, I think, and just really didn't have anything going for him today so far.
The 0-2. Foul back out of play. That's after scoring 9 last night. Also getting excellent pitching last night thanks to Stephen Wright. Went all the way for a complete game shutout. McCarthy to go tomorrow against Price. If some of you are reading Rich Hill tomorrow, he has been scratched because of a blister. That's going to miss, but barely at 95.
Got to be a little unsettling for McCarthy too. He was the starter, then he wasn't the starter, now he's the starter. He's not sure what he's doing.
He's been on the yo-yo. Price will go in 9 and 7 with a .430 earned run average. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. He blows away another Red Sox hitter. Back-to-back Ks by the closer. So 2 down in the 9th.
Same exact thing he did to Bradley. Up over the hands and right by you with a little cutting action at the end.
Travis Shaw 1 for 3 with a base hit. He's also struck out a couple of times today. Benintendi would hit next if given the opportunity. That's up to Travis with 2 down in the 9th, and that's across for a strike.
Believe it or not, Petey got a bat and a helmet in his hands now too. Maybe the opportunity he could get up there and take some swings.
Nothing in 2 to count. And Pedroia hopeful. But so are the Dodger fans. Hopeful it's about to end for them in a victory. And a right-hander with the 0-2. He left it up top. Just 5 hits for the Red Sox all day. The 1-2 on the way. Cut on and missed. He strikes out the side, and that's it for the Red Sox as they fall here today.